Well, good evening, YouTubers. This is Dr. K. This is Sunday evening, and what a wonderful weekend has been. Had the privilege of officiating over 2 weddings, one on Saturday and one today. Wonderful people and smiles and very moving experience. Very intense moments when you are involved in a wedding like that. It's a very powerful, moving experience that, as many weddings as I've officiated, it's amazing that I would still get choked up at times. Of course, some couples you get more bonded with than others, but this old man can still get choked up and start losing his voice at certain moments during the ceremony. I'm not near the tough old geezer I thought I was, I guess. Anyway, I'm walking around in my Garden of Whedon back here, and just posting a little update as to how things are going. There's all kind of personalities on this planet. We humans have such a variety of interest and such a diversity of people, and it really makes life wonderful when you think about it. I mean, I would think it'd be a pretty boring place if everyone was just like me, with the same interest and the same personality and doing the same things that I do and so forth. But to know this great variety of people out here is can be a wonderful thing. There are those that because of personality differences and so forth, what we're accustomed to in our cultures, that we may not be as close to, may not like as much as we like someone that's more like us. And that's kind of a difficult thing sometimes for us to deal with. It's difficult because it's easy to use those differences as a point of division and to look with very negative, critical eyes towards those that don't share the same exact things, whether it be culturally, the way we dress, the way we groom ourselves, even our belief systems, and the food we eat. All those differences can put us in a position to make us feel maybe superior to others, and to divide ourselves, us versus them. We're in that kind of a culture in a very intense way now, given the 24/7 news cycle, constant bombardment, and of course these news pundits, who are not, in my personal opinion, true journalists, they've got to fill all these voids of time, and we feed off the negativisms that we receive. And of course we recognize that in our social media as well. We see a lot of debates and a lot of differences, anger, hatred, and so forth. We have to understand that it's okay. It is really okay to have those differences of opinion. It's okay to dislike or not favor a person over another. Even in the Bible, Jesus himself had his favored apostles over those that he was not as close to, did not like as well. But he had the same love for them all. And any time that he chose to offer criticism to any of the followers in his time, it was done so in a tactful way. It wasn't a bashing. In fact, the most negative that Jesus ever dealt with in the Bible was against the clergy of his day. The religious leaders of his day were the ones that he had the harshest words for. But we find ourselves now, from political to religious to cultural differences to personalities, it's so easy to divide ourselves up, and it's so easy to be harsh in our comments, and that escalates things, and it turns into a very, very negative world. We each can take responsibility for changing that. It takes each of us individually to take those steps, to start, as Gandhi said, to be the change that we would like to see in the world. And we cannot be that change if indeed we're participating in it. We're not leading. We're not setting a good example. we are becoming like those that we choose to criticize. We're mimicking those that we claim we do not like. And of course, that leads to nothing good. Open discourse, adult communication. You may have noticed, if you've ever gotten into a debate with anyone, either in person or even on social media, that you reach a certain point, and if one side or the other gets to the point to where they cannot defend their views or their stance, it becomes into a personal attack. And the world now is full of personal attacks. And we've got to learn to deal with it in a loving, caring way. We cannot teach, we cannot improve things by involving ourselves in negative comments and demeaning other people. On one side of my family, there are a lot of entertainers and actors, actresses. Some names, if I were to share them, which I'm not, I don't want that make that the theme of this video, you would recognize. But a long line of that in one side of my family. And of course, I know these people, and I know them personally. I know what they're all about. But they can be harshly judged by the media and by individuals who've never met them. They just see little bits, and they do not distinguish the whole picture from the little bits they see in a TV show or being interviewed on TV or whatever, and they grab a hold and try to judge a person's character by maybe their personality, or by a song they sang, or by a show they played in, or whatever. And they never have taken the time to understand this person. The old saying is, and there was a song back in the 60s, "Walk a Mile in My Shoes." We have lost the ability for empathy. That empathy is long gone. We overuse the word compassion, and we've totally forgotten empathy. To understand what's going on in another person's life, to understand them, what they were raised with, the culture, their family. We do not know these things, but yet it's so easy to quickly judge others by the exterior brief moments that we see and experience with them, never knowing the full picture. I have a friend that just had triple bypass surgery. And when you go through something like that, your temperament can change. You never know what a person's suffering. He never went around and talked about the health issues he had, but there was something wrong. And if you didn't know him, you would think he was just a cranky, old, nasty old man. Never knowing what he was dealing with, the pain he was suffering, and those sorts of things. So the key word here is empathy. Be on the positive side of things. In a wedding ceremony like the one that I officiated today, when things seem wrong, focus more on what's right between you, in the world, instead of focusing so much on what's wrong. Find the common ground and focus on that and grow from that. We can make this a better society. We can make this a better world, a better planet, given the communications that we have today, given the internet and all this instantaneous sharing that we do. We can be the ones to make the world a better place. We can be the change that we wish to see in the world today. So that's my little brief Dr. K message here on a Sunday evening. I hope everybody has a great week. Monday coming up tomorrow. And by the way, Monday's named in honor of the moon. So Sunday's named in honor of the sun. Monday's named in honor of the moon. And you get into Monday, and most normal people have jobs, go to work. Some people go at it constantly. Whatever your situation is, I hope that your night is pleasant. You get plenty of rest. If you're working, I hope that you're productive and that you have good health and good things come to you. This is Dr. K, and this is my Sunday evening message to all my YouTube friends and fans, if I want to dare call them that. I wish you all the best. Hang in there. Everything's going to be great. We just got to ride out the storms.